Hi everyone, welcome to SRV Academy of Accounts. Here all my preparations and presentations are only in exam point of view. The channel is going to help to get better idea about all accountancy subject. Watch my videos regularly to crack your exam with good marks. Subject Accountancy. Chapter Non-Profit Organization Class 1. Today we are going to see yet another important chapter called Non-Profit Organization. In the chapter, we are going to discuss three important aspects. Number one, simple introduction about non-profit organization. Two, receipts and payment account, PERFORMA or format. And number three, income and expenditure account, PERFORMA and format. We move on to the simple introduction of non-profit organization. Non-profit organization is nothing but organizations are established for the purpose of rendering service to the public without profit motive. For example, charitable institution, educational institution, cultural society, sports and recreation clubs, hospitals, libraries, and literary associations are some example of non-profit organization. Features of non-profit organization. The first, non-profit organizations are the organization which functions without any profit motive. The main aim is to provide service to a specific group or public at large. Generally, they do not undertake any business or trading activity. The main source of income includes subscription for members, donations, etc. Accounts are prepared by the non-profit organization. There are three types of accounts are prepared in the non-profit organization. The first, receipts and payment account. Number two, income and expenditure account. And three, the balance sheet. Okay, let's go. Now we are going to see the PERFORMA, the format about receipts and payment account. The format of receipts and payment account, write down the heading like receipts and payment account for the year ended 31st March 2019. Here divide the 6 column, receipts, amount, payments, amount. In receipts and payment account, simply say the cash book. All cash transactions, cash receipts and cash payments we are going to be recorded in receipts and payment account. The debit receipts, the credit payments. Now we start with the receipts debit side. To balance brought down opening balances, cash in hand, cash at bank, add and put outer column the total. Followed by revenue receipt. Here now I am going to list out the revenue receipts. See, subscriptions, entrance fee, general donation, interest on investment, sale of old newspaper, dividend, locker rent received, sundry receipts. These are the example of revenue receipts. Now we move on to the capital receipt. To life membership fees, donation for subscription purpose, endowment fund, sale of fixed assets and investment, receipt for specific purpose, interest on investment, and finally the balance carried out bank overdraft. Any balancing figure it comes the debit side, that balancing figure we called as the bank overdraft, the balance carried out. Okay. Now we move on to the credit side, it's a payment side. By balance brought down, opening balance, the bank overdraft, and revenue payments. Here I list out one by one the revenue payments. By salaries, by rent paid, by electricity charges, by postage, by rent and taxes, by insurance, by advertisement, by telephone charges, by entertainment expenses, by audit fees, by repairs, by conveyance charges, by newspaper and periodicals, by office expenses, by sundry expenses. These are the examples of revenue payments. Now we move on to the capital payments. Fixed assets, any fixed assets. I said no, the land and building, plant and machinery, furniture, any fixed assets, purchase of any fixed assets called a capital payment. An investment, any investment you made, capital payment. And end with balance carry down, cash in hand, cash at bank. So find the total. In receipts and payment account, we are going to find the closing balances, either cash in hand, cash at bank in the credit side. If any balancing figure it comes in debit side, that balance we call a bank overdraft. Here I have to give some important notes about receipts and payment account. It's prepared to know to find the closing balance, either cash or bank at the end. Non-cash items not recorded in the receipts and payment. For example, outstanding expenses and depreciation, These are the example of non-cash payments we don't want to record in receipts and payment account. Okay, now we move on to the income and expenditure. Write down the heading like income and expenditure account for the year ended 31st March 2019. And here also you divide the 6 columns. The first column expenditure, amount, income, amount. Dear students, listen carefully. There is a very big difference between the receipts and payment and income and expenditure. In receipts and payment, cash receipts are recorded on the debit side, cash payments are recorded on the credit side. But in income and expenditure are recorded on the debit side and incomes are recorded on the credit side. Okay, now we start with expenditure. To salary, rent, etc. Value put it in a column. Less expenses for the previous year, less expenses for the subsequent year, add outstanding expenses for the current year, add received in advance during the previous year for the current year, and balance we put it in outer column. Followed by to charities, to donation paid, to stationery, to loss on sale of asset, a depreciation. Now credit side, by subscription, put the value inside, less subscription for the previous year, less subscription for the subsequent year, add outstanding subscription for the current year, add received in advance during the previous year for the current year, and balance we are going to put it outer column. And followed by donation received, by admission fees received, by rent received, by interest received, by profit on sale of asset, and find the total. If any balancing figure it comes debit side, we called as a to surplus. Any balancing figure it comes credit side, that balance we called as a deficit. Dear students, here I am going to give some important notes about income and expenditure account. Listen carefully. The income and expenditure account, they're prepared to know either surplus or deficit. All non-cash items are recorded in income and expenditure account. You know what are the non-cash items? Outstanding expenses and depreciation. Now we are in the end of today's session. I hope you understood very clear about today's session. Please subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to get the further notification of my new uploads. Upcoming videos, we are going to work out few more problems related with non-profit organizations. Thanks for watching.